Da 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 da. Welcome to Acknowledgment. Hi, Blossoming Souls. I'm Amber. I'm the host of the Blossom and Rise podcast. And that little terrible humming tune that I just did was Acknowledgment by John Coltrane. Okay. This season of Blossom and Rise, we're going to be covering themes of A Love Supreme, which is John Coltrane's spiritual awakening album, and I think it's so phenomenal that I decided to make season 1 of the podcast specifically looking at that album, okay, in conjunction with our own spiritual awakening and our journey, okay. And so I highly recommend that you listen to that album if you haven't already. You got to stay on track. We got to stay on track together, okay? But today we're talking about acknowledgement, obviously, okay? Recognizing the call of your soul and stepping into alignment with your soul's purpose, okay? Now, what is the call, okay? The call is your soul's invitation, okay, to awaken, all right? And it could be mostly it's like people noticing these synchronicities, right? Driving them crazy. I feel like my nose is running. I digress. Seeing the synchronicities and feeling overwhelmed or even obsessed with the synchronicities, not insecurities. But the spiritual call is literally just a nudge, okay? It could be you seeing something. It could be thoughts or dreams or just having an intense feeling and desire of change, okay? Now, the most recent change that's happened for me is stepping out of the conventional work life, working 40 hours a week. So this is what I was doing prior. I keep touching my nose because I feel like it's running, and so I apologize. If you're watching this on YouTube, I apologize, but I digress. So recently, I decided to step away from a 40-hour job. I was making pretty good money because I needed to step into my soul's purpose. So for years, I have always known that I was supposed to work in the spiritual path or on a spiritual path. But it was like, okay, well, once I get licensed for therapy, then I'll step out on my own. And then I got licensed and I was like, whoa. I don't think it's time. Don't think it's time. And I got burned out from that job that I had when I was licensed. And I knew that wasn't the place for me because I knew that wasn't a place I wanted to be in the first place. It was an opportunity that presented itself to me. I said, sure, I'm up for the challenge. And I realized it wasn't for me, which is totally fine. So then I went on to the next job, and that was great. If I was one-dimensional as far as only had that one thing of focus, that job of focus, that would have been great. However, I'm also a medium. I work with tarot. And I am a licensed therapist. And so I have many different things as well as a thought leader, right? So I was doing therapy and my full-time job and didn't have any time for Blossom and Rise, my spiritual company, brand, passion, purpose. I didn't have time for that. And so last year, me and my partner purchased a home, which was, it's amazing. I love my house. I love it here. I live in the forest, and it's great. However, it's about 45 minutes to work, and then it was like an hour home. And it just got to the point where it was just too much. And so I burned out, and I took some time off. And during that time, my soul was like, it's time. It's time to answer the call. It's time for you to step into your power. And so I did. So my last day at that job was December 27th, 2024, and it is January 8th when you see this. If you see it on the release date of Wednesday, I've released videos every Wednesday, new episodes, episodes, synonymous. But it's hard, okay? We resist change and we resist answering that call because we're of fear and doubt. Yeah, walking away from a full-time job, the stability, I had insurance, even though it was the worst insurance I've ever had in my life. It's okay, right? Because I had a check every other week. I knew my mortgage was going to get paid, my bills were going to get paid, everything. But it wasn't fulfilling for me, all right? We cannot allow our fear and doubts to stop us from really stepping into our power, okay? Now, I've never felt like I've been in line with societal norms either, okay? Because societal norms will tell you, you go to work 40 hours, you go to school, you earn this degree, you do this, this, and that, and that's what's going to make you successful. Well, fuck that, because that's not what success is for me, right? Doing mediumship is successful for me. Working with tarot, being able to provide guidance to people, being able to encourage people to really tap into their higher selves and learn how to master meditation, learn how to master and build that connection with their spirit team, their ancestors, spirit, the collective, right? That's passionate to me. That is a purpose, all right? Making money for an organization that doesn't give a fuck about you if you leave this day says a lot to me. It says a lot to me. Okay? And the ego will try to tell you it's safe. Hey, this area over here, we're safe here. Okay? Don't try to do anything different, because different is bad. Different's bad. We don't want to do that. Just earlier this morning, I saw a TikTok of a woman and I didn't respond. I didn't comment. I should have. But she was talking about how she was in a car and it was just like text and talking about how she's really grateful to have a 40-hour week job and have the stability, but her life feeling so unfulfilled, not living her purpose, feeling depressed. And I'm like, girl, you are burnt out. Your soul is telling you it's time for you to step out. I didn't comment though. I regret that. But I'm like, that was me like 2 weeks ago and I made the decision. Okay. And I'm not telling you to leave your full-time job and when you have nothing lined up. Okay. If you need to take a break, a mental health break, definitely do that, because when I went to the doctor and tried to get like an excuse for being out due to burnout, my doctor told me that wasn't a valid medical procedure code. I was like, okay, she was great up until that point when I just needed a note just to come back. I had therapy the next day. I already knew what to do. I just needed it for formalities. And she was like, well, burnout, I can't really use that. That's not a F code, so I can't use it. That was the gist of it. And I was like, look, okay, you know what burnout is, okay? It's mixed. It looks like depression. So if you're going to change it to say depression, then change it to say depression. She must have done it because my case was approved for like short disability, but that was still upsetting to me. So more of the reason for me to have that change, okay? And now that we're shifting into the 5D of consciousness, you may be feeling like not wanting to be around people that consistently drain your energy, wanting to protect your peace more, really having a desire to connect with source, whatever you call that energy, having a feeling of or desire of like really wanting to level up now. That's because the collective is shifting into a higher vibrational field. Okay. Now, it really does remind me of Christianity's the rapture. Okay. I know the story very well. I grew up Baptist. I know. And I don't think I know it's not a physical disruption. It's an energetic eruption to self and society. Those who understand energy and their consciousness is rising will continue to be here. Those who aren't even aware of it or denounce it or whatever, they're going to stay here until their consciousness rises up to meet other higher consciousnesses, other frequencies, and lack of a better word. Okay. So don't feel like you're being left behind. That's not it. Okay. If you're still feeling stuck, my recommendation, and my phone is ringing and I don't know why. I'm so sorry. I digress. Okay. I forgot what I just said. Honestly, I was distracted by my phone ringing. So let me just go back to the John Coltrane Acknowledgment. This song was created as he was starting to awaken, acknowledging that there is a presence higher than himself. All right. It's so hard for humans to conceptualize anything outside of Earth for whatever reason, especially with the so-called drones or Dior bags that are out there. I had an experience last week that I shared on social media about me asking the lights, like, Last Thursday, I was up, I couldn't sleep, and so I was looking out the window, and where I live, I can see the sky very clearly because of the elevation, and I I consciously asked, okay, so in my mind, I want to see the lights, right? So less than 20 minutes later, I had a red light blinking in the sky. I saw a red light blinking, and I said, "Oh, maybe that's a plane." So I went to the window and looked closer, and it wasn't moving. It was just doing this all of a sudden, and so I was like, "Okay, let me go outside and get my camera." So I went outside, I got my camera, and I filmed it, and it wasn't solid. It was giving off this prismatic glow, right? And I recorded for 25 minutes. I mean, that's a lie. 27 seconds, 27 seconds. And I should have recorded longer because after I stopped recording, I could see the light just go down, 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 down past the tree line. I couldn't see it anymore. That's not natural. Okay. So I'm saying that because as you awaken and you connect with energies, it works like that. Right. And I was so full of excitement. I'm so excited for other life forms to come and help Earth at this time because us as a collective, we're struggling. Human beings are struggling. But also, the system is dismantling and we don't know what's right from left, right? But that's why it's so important that if you feel that call, that internal call to shift and do something different, it's because you're already in that frequency. Okay. So don't feel like you can't do any better than what you're doing now. Okay. Remember, societal norms are not our norms. Okay. Your individual norms. Like, live in purpose. Okay. Blossom and rise into your purpose. All right. Now, I do recommend that you journal daily, okay, to help you shift out of the energy that you've been stuck in, okay? You could do like a 5-minute journal prompt of like, what am I being called to do today? All right, getting in touch with your higher self, you know, your spirit team. Just a meditation. I had created a meditation called the Inner Garden. Okay. And if you're on my email list on Substack, I'm going to be sending that out. And I need to start my spiritual development circle. I'm going to start doing that. That's going to be for my second tier members. That's paid. The free tier, you get all of that, all of resources and everything. But in order to help you build, it's the second tier. But I'm going to start that. I haven't started yet, but I'm going to start it because I really do feel like sometimes we just need a little help with the guided meditations until we can establish our own routine, create our own sacred space, and whatever that may look like for other people. For me, my sacred space looks like a forest. That's where I connect most with energy. So, of course, that's what I'm going to create for myself. Okay. So, just little steps. Okay. If you meditate daily, journal what you've meditated. What was that experience? What messages did you receive? Or utilize prompts like, what am I being called to do today? Okay. Now, I highly recommend that you continue meditating because meditation is where it's at. That's how you connect with your higher self. You connect with spirit. You connect with your ancestors. You connect with the higher realms. Okay. It's a vibrational energy. All right. So I really encourage you to acknowledge that inner voice that you're hearing. Go listen to John Coltrane's Acknowledgment on A Love Supreme. Okay. A Love Supreme. A Love Supreme. When I heard that album for the first time a few years ago, it struck something deep in my soul, which is why it's captured in season 1 here. Okay. So what are you being called? Comment down below. Okay. Oh yeah. And I also want to pull from my blossoming affirmations deck right here that I created last year. To just take a message that you can either meditate on or just ponder on. Okay, they're affirmations. I attract positive energy like bees to honey. Okay, so if you're working on attracting, oop, that's super light. So sorry. If you're looking to attract positive energy like bees to honey, you got to change the way your vibrational imprint is. And that starts with thoughts, my friends. thoughts. Okay. So whenever I encounter fear and doubts, especially this early on in my self-employment journey, I have created a mantra. If it was, I will persevere. And now it's, I persevere. And that shift happened in my meditation this morning. It's, I persevere. I will persevere. I persevere. Okay. So you do attract positive energy like bees to honey. And let's blossom and rise together. I'll see you next week, or you'll listen to me next week. All right. And also, please share the episode to whoever you feel like also would benefit from today's message. And bye for now.